Alright folks, we have breaking news that you are simply not going to get anywhere else, whether it's the mainstream media or it's through social media. We have breaking news. You need to share this information with your family, your friends, your loved ones, even those that you don't particularly love. You want to share this information. I'm going to talk today about Samsung and their electronic products. Now, many of you know that the recent model Samsung products, their phones, their notebook, their tablets, there have been hideous stories really of these batteries that have just been blowing up, these devices that have just melted down. In some cases, they've caused major fires and damage to vehicles, to people's homes. It's a mess. The consumer warnings that have come out have suggested that only the recent Samsung products are at risk. I'm here to tell you though, and I have definite evidence because it affected me, I have definite evidence that it includes older Samsung products, and therefore every single Samsung product is potentially a fire hazard. Now, I want to bring to your attention this old Samsung phone. It's a S2, a Galaxy S2. Okay, this came out, I don't know, several years ago. And it uses this battery. Now, ordinarily, there's no problems here. In fact, you slide in the battery, and you'll notice that it's a perfect fit. I don't know if the audience can see it through this particular camera angle. I do have some still shots that I'm going to post up, but this is level. The battery fits perfectly, and of course that's what it's supposed to do. However, I noticed one time my wife was using the phone and just charging it up one day that the other phone that we have, the battery, the Samsung battery, it became fatter. Now you can't quite see it, probably not quite see it that well through this camera angle. However, there is a noticeable difference in the thickness between these two batteries. It became so fat that even now, after several days from this incident, when I try to stick the phone in, I don't get a perfect fit. In fact, you can see it, and I'm sure you can see it through this camera angle, that it's not level. It's not a perfect fit. In fact, no matter how many times I try to stick this battery down, you'll notice that there is the back end of the battery juts out. And the reason why that is because the battery got fat. Batteries are not supposed to get fat. They're not supposed to get so fat to the point where it's structurally, permanently damaged, to the point where it no longer fits into the phone for which it was manufactured. That's a serious problem. That means that should my wife or anybody in my family have continued to charge this battery, that this battery would have gotten fatter and fatter until boom! Who knows what could have happened? That is a major fire hazard. And again, this is a Galaxy S2. My suspicion, reasonable suspicion, is that all Samsung products are at risk. They are a fire hazard. So if you own any Samsung products, it does not have to be just the recent models that came out this year. Any Samsung products are potential fire hazards. Now, for full disclosure, I am a shareholder of Sony stock, and I'm also a current user of Apple products. I will say, however, that I have never had a problem with Apple. I have never had a problem with Sony. Especially with Sony products, our family has used Sony throughout, for most of our lives, basically. Throughout our lives, throughout my parents' lives, we have used Sony products, and I've never had a single issue with Sony. One thing I will say, now that we're on the topic of Sony, they have taken, in my opinion, too many precautions. Now some of their products, the camera products, especially the NEX cameras, incorporate this timing system where if the temperature gets too hot, the camera automatically shuts down. I think that is overkill. I think that Sony, if you guys are watching this, that you need to do something about that. That's not fair to the consumer because, I'm sure Canon and Nikon, their cameras don't automatically shut down because of the temperature is too warm. I think you guys are playing this way too safe. However, that being said, I will say that again, Sony products, no problem. Apple products, I've never experienced a problem. In fact, this is the first time, absolutely the first time in which I have experienced any kind of fire hazard related problems with any electronic products. And I trusted Samsung. Here's the thing. We all trusted Samsung. And we thought, hey, this is a very cool alternative. This is a cheaper alternative to the other products that are out there. Apparently, though, they went a little bit too cheap. Again, every single Samsung product is suspect. You want to make sure that you're very, very careful. Does not matter. Again, it does not matter whether it's a recent Samsung product or an older Samsung product. Again, this is an S2. It was about to literally burn down my house. It was about to burn down my house. This stupid phone with this stupid battery was about to burn down my house. Luckily, fortunately, my wife caught it in time and, she saved our home. She basically saved our lives. But this is irresponsible. This company, Samsung, is a very irresponsible company, and you want to be very careful because there's millions and millions of people in the United States that are using Samsung products right now, and you want to be very careful in how you use that product. You may want to return that product. You may want to disuse that product and buy equivalent products from Apple or Sony, or whatever company that you desire. But Samsung has a very serious problem, and it's not just because of the recent manufacturing batch. This has been a problem going back several years. Again, I believe with reasonable suspicion that all Samsung products are potential fire hazards. Please share this information with all your friends, your family, your loved ones, your unloved ones. You may have conflicts with people, but ultimately we want to take care of each other. We want to make sure that we don't lose people or lose property unnecessarily. So again, please share this information and stay safe out there.